Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Iliad 16, and I got up to line 502. So Patroclus has just stabbed and killed Sarpedon, and we now hear more of the story here. Hos aramin eponta telos thanatoio kalupsin, ophthalmus rinaste. And thus, accordingly, literally the end of death, perhaps the finality of death, covered over his eyes and nose as he spoke, him having spoken. And of course, when he spoke, he called upon Glaukos to defend the body. But he, this of course is Patroclus, lacks so it goes with binoan, standing with his foot on Sarpedon's chest. Helke, he dragged out the spear from the flesh. And we get this grim little part of the line here. Poti de phrenes auto heponto. The phrenes is the midriff, so the diaphragm. So the literally diaphragm followed proti for pros along with it. In other words, the diaphragm came out with the spear. And along with his soul, also, so the main verb is here, exeruse. So he dragged out the pointed part of the spear at the same time as his soul. So when he pulls out the spear, then the psyche, the Greeks thought of the psyche coming out of the body at the same time. Myrmidons, the Myrmidons, now skethen is an aorist form from echo. You can see the sk root in here, so it means sort of stood there or remained there. And the autu is that locative use of the genitive, so on that very spot, so there. So the Myrmidons remained there. We have to understand, well, this is part of the skethon, so they were there holding, or perhaps the Myrmidons were held there, the snorting horses, from phusio, sort of breathing heavily, so snorting horses, the horses who were desirous, phobiestai, to flee. So this will be a future infinitive after this verb of desiring from hiemi. So desiring to flee, since they had left the chariots of their masters. It's really probably plural for singular here, since they left the chariot of their master, but it's Greek says here since they had left the chariots of their masters. Glaukon de enon akos egeneto phthonges aionti. And there was a terrible grief for Glaukos as he was hearing this voice. This is the voice of Sarpedon. So this is from aio, verb meaning of hearing. So Sarpedon was very grieved when he heard the voice of, Glaukos was very grieved when he heard the voice of Sarpedon, and the heart hoi for him, orinthe, was stirred, from orino, aorist passive here. So his heart was stirred, hot for hottie. You often get this hot and then the te. It is te, epsilon here, but it's hot for hottie. So because he was not able, the te you don't translate, for he was not able pros amunai to defend him. And why was that? We'll be told why it is in a minute. So, Kyrie helon epies de brachioni. So he took hold of him, and this is from piesdo, to press upon. This is an imperfect. So he began to impress. He began to press his arm, Kyrie, with his hand. Teriga auton Helkos, for a Helkos, a terrible wound. Well, it's just a wound. Teire, literally tore at, or so the wound tore at him. The wound, this is neuter, so Helkos, which the wound which indeed Teucros had struck him with his arrow as he was rushing upon, and we're getting a genitive after epi, the high wall. So just to do that bit again there. So it's sort of taking hold of him. He pressed his arm, that is Sarpedon's arm, with his hand, for the pain, or the wound, I should say, which Teucros had, with which Teucros had struck him with his arrow as he was hastening or rushing upon the high wall. It was tearing at him, it was causing him pain. Him, as he was defending, or warding off, I should say, as he was warding off the arain, a word meaning destruction. It's fairly rare, probably connected with Ares perhaps, but it means so warding off destruction from his comrades. But accordingly, in praying, he spoke to far-shooting Apollo. Now we get this usual words for prayer here, kluthi, often kluthi moi. It's a very funny, it's from kluo, to hear, but it's an imperative, but it's a special form that's used when addressing God. So hear, O Lord, you who perchance, you, now the ace here is from Amy Ibo, it's the second person. So you who are either in the rich, or perhaps among the rich people of Lycia, or in Troy. Deimos is land, I should say, in the rich land. Deimos is in Homer generally land, not people. So you who perchance are in the rich land of Lycia or in Troy, and you, Dunasai, are able to hear Pantosi everywhere. Now, akuo takes a genitive, but we have a funny dative here, so it must be, it's not really a dative after akuo, it's sort of give ear to. So you who give ear everywhere to a man who is in distress, from Kadamai, since now distress comes upon me. Helkos menga echo torikatron, for I have this terrible, but literally strong, wound, this terrible wound. Amphidemoiker oxeas odunes in elelatai. The main verb is here. This is the, it's from elauno. It's a passive, is pierced, is driven, literally, elauno to drive, so it's literally is driven through. So it's literally the hand for me, and the amphi, so it has that sense of everywhere. So all around, my hand everywhere is driven through with sharp pains. In other words, my hand is pierced with sharp pains, nor is the hyma, the blood, dunatai, able for me. So nor is my blood able, tersenai, is to dry. So nor is my blood able, well, to be staunched, we'd probably say, literally to be dried, but it's passive, so perhaps to be staunched, not able to stop. And my shoulder, Baruthe, is weighed down, is heavy, hoop autu, by it. My shoulder is weighed down by it. Enkos do dunamai skein empedon. And I'm not able to hold empedon, something like in place or securely, my enkos, my spear. So I'm not able to securely hold my spear. Nor, having gone, Mekesthai, to fight with my enemies. It's dos menes, those who are my enemies, or those who are hostile as an adjective, and then we get the third declension dative plural here with the ones who are hostile. So nor am I, having gone, am I able to fight with my enemy. But the man who was the best, or Aristos, for Aristos, Oleme, has perished. Sarpedon, the son of Zeus. But he, that is Zeus, I assume here, Ud hu Paidos Amune, but he, Zeus, nor did he defend his son, the personal adjective here. But you, and the more is sort of almost, I think, ethic dative. You could take it as for me. So, but you, O Lord, akesai, this is an imperative from the verb to heal, but you heal this terrible wound for me. Koi meson, imperative from koi mao, literally put to sleep the pains. So, dull the pains. Dos de kratos, give me strength. Offer, so that ep otruno, this will be subjunctive, so that I might stir, the klominos, this is from Kelamai, having called to the Lycaeans, so that having called to the Lycaeans I might stir to my comrades the Lycaeans, I might stir them up to fight. So I'll just do that bit again from here. So, but you, O Lord, heal this terrible wound for me, lull to sleep the pains, and give me strength, so that, calling to my Lycaean comrades, I might stir them up to fight, to do battle. Altus tamfinequie, and I myself, Macomai, would, subjunctive, I would fight around the dead corpse. This is from kata plus the nasco, dative participle, the dead corpse. And thus he spoke in prayer, and Phoebus Apollo heard him, and forthwith he caused to cease. He checked. This is power, the aorist from power. Power in the active is to check something, to cause it to stop. Power in the middle is to cease. So forthwith he checked the pains, and the black blood. The verb is here. He dried up, he staunched the black blood from the terrible wound, and Embale, he cast strength for him, and Glaukos recognized, he knew, in his heart and rejoiced. So he realizes that Apollo has heard his prayer and has staunched the blood and got rid of the pain. Because the great god heard him praying, and then oka is an adverb, swiftly, and the hoi must be for him. So swiftly, because swiftly for him, the great god heard him praying. And protomen oteron kion. And first of all, he urged on the men who were leaders of the Lycaeans, epoikomenos, going about pantake, in all directions, going about everywhere. So he urged them to fight around, understand, the body of Sarpedon. But after that, he went among the Trojans, macra bibastho. This is a participle from bibastho. It's a reduplicated form, and you can see the bar here, again it's from bino. It's a reduplicated form from bino, and it's got a st here as well. It means to stride. This word only occurs twice in Homer, and I don't think it occurs elsewhere. So then afterwards he went among the Trojans, striding macras, with great strides. And he went to, notice the accent on epi, he went to Polydamnus, the son of Panthois, and glorious Agenor, and he went after, so he went in the direction of Aeneas, and Hector of the bronze-helmeted Hector. And standing near, he addressed them with winged words, standard stock line. O Hector, now indeed, Panku very much. The ace here is the a second person singular from the verb to be, and it's used periphrastically here with lelasmenos, which is from lanthanamai, to forget. So it's something like, now, very much you are having forgotten. So you have forgotten, you are very forgetful of, genitive here, your allies. Who, Heneka Sethen for Sue, on your account, Apophthin Nuthusin, are losing their life, well, we would say their lives, so who, on your account, are losing their lives far from their friends and their fatherland, their ancestral land. But you do not wish Apamunain to defend them. Kertai Sarpedon lies there, the leader of the Lycaean spearsmen. He who Eruto, it's an imperfect here, I think, from Eruo, so used to defend Lycaea with his judgments and with his strength. Personal adjective again, this dative from hos, so his stene is the third declension neuter noun, and his strength. But Kalkios is nominative with Ares, so it's something like brazen Ares has tamed him by the spear, at the hands of Patroclus with his spear. But, dear friends, parstati for parastati, you often get vowel dropped out for the sake of meter, so stand beside him, and nemestate, it's something like be indignant. It's almost an imperative here. Be indignant in your soul, and it's subjunctive here, something like you would be indignant in your heart, or be indignant in your heart, lest they, the apo goes with the helontai from Hyrio, lest they take away his armour, akisosi, and they might disfigure, from Ikisdo, they might disfigure his corpse, and the Myrmidons might disfigure his corpse. So lest the Myrmidons might take away his armour, and they might disfigure his corpse. Being angry with the Danans, as many of the Danans, so being angry in that as many as of the Danans that perished, I think is the sense here of this. So being angry about the Danans, defining genitive, as many as perished. Whom epiphenomen, reduplicated aorist again from that root pheno, so it's reduplicated plus an augment. So those whom we killed with our spears at the swift ships. So just to quickly do that last little bit again from there. So come, O friends, stand beside him, be indignant in your soul, lest the Myrmidons take away his armour, and they disfigure his corpse, being angry over the Danans, as many as perished, those whom we killed with our spears at the swift ships. And that is the next section of Book 16.